Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, there's going to be part 2 of painting the Daily Beater. If you want to go back to see part 1, that was all the prep work, disassembly, taping, sanding, masking, everything to get to this point. So right now, I'm ready to paint, except for 2 or 3 other little things I want to do before I actually start painting. But I've got some of the little parts here hung, bumper sitting on a sawhorse, and I got some of the other panels over here with a sneak peek of the color I'm going to go with. So this is actually a Rust-Oleum metallic, like blue metallic. That was a mistake. I tried it. I know better now. Don't use metallic. So a Rust-Oleum glitter clear. So there's going to be, I guess, technically a 3-stage paint. So it'll be blue metallic base. Going to do the glitter clear just to give it a bit more pop. I just kind of, this is kind of where things could go wrong. So I was wrong. This on like a full car. So getting coverage clear, nice and even and everywhere might be a challenge, but it's one of those, it's on the daily. I'm not too worried if it isn't perfect. I just kind of want it to be, a little bit, that little bit of extra. So, like I said, base coat, blue metallic, and then gonna do a clear with a glitter, and then just a straight clear over that. So, first thing though is I'm gonna get water down on the floor. That'll help keep some of the dust down. I've tried plastic before and it didn't work for me. I guess I didn't tape it down well enough or whatnot, but I put plastic down on the last one I did, and within the first, 10 minutes, it was just, the paint was so sticky that it was then sticking to my feet. So as I was walking, I was like a mouse on a glue trap, or a cat on a glue trap, just kicking it off my feet, and didn't go so well. So I'm gonna get this all prepped up, or get all the water down, and then I'm gonna grab a can and start spraying. All right, floor's wet, got my respirator, older sweatshirt. I like to at least put my hood up even though it's gonna be really hot. At least tries to keep some of the, overspray off of yourself. You can go out and grab one of those, painter suits or whatnot. They have them at, hardware stores and whatnot. And then the other thing you want to do, so I have 15 cans for this. I did a truck with, I think it was 20. So for a car, I'm pretty sure 15 should be fine. I like to grab a bunch, make sure they're all shook up. That way, kind of each coat as you go through, you can come back then and like mix another, or shake another 5. And especially because this is a metallic, you want to shake it often while you're painting. That way you can keep those, the metallic particles mixed well. And then what I like to do is, one, you want to start high. And then the other thing you want to do is start with your edges. I know it's tempting to start with, big panels because you want to see kind of results right away, but you're going to want to actually start in your little edges, like gaps between doors, everything like that. I like to do a full coat of that. That way, when you come back around, like those are the spots that are most likely that you're going to get runs from. So you want to hit those first and then come back around, hit them again lightly, and do your full, cover coats of doors and whatnot. So I'm just going to hit the edges of the sunroof here first, and then I'll end up throwing you guys on time lapse. And here goes nothing. This is first sprays of the new color. And you want to start light. You don't want to overdo it. You're not going to get full coverage on your first passes. you know, stay 10, 12 inches away. And then, so you kind of want to try and do as much as you can of the same areas at one time. That way you're keeping your coat what they would call wet. If you say I did that half the sunroof and then did that whole half of the car, and then I came over here and I did this, that paint that I did on that half is going to end up being partially dry by the time I start hitting it on this side. So it blends much better. You don't get like a hazy overspray if you do it all at once, you know, and you would consider it a wet coat. There we go. 2 cans down. And like I said, I did all of, you know, basic edges. Just wanted to get deep into the edges, and I'm gonna let it flash off real quick. I also did a coat on the small pieces that I have hanging, which are hard to see in that light, the bumper, and a coat on these small pieces, you know, rear trim piece, mirrors, other half of the door handles. So next up, it'll be the first full coat. And other thing I've learned after doing a couple of these, save your fingers and buy one of these. Buy one of the can, you know, I don't know, gun adapter holders. When I did my truck, it was, I had 3 finger, you know, like all my fingers that I tried using to spray with were, they were just dead after, you know, a full weekend of pressing down. These things definitely save your fingers. So if you're gonna do this or something similar, highly suggest one of these. First full coat is done. Let's say it's metallic, but one in the light, and so this works a little bit better over here. You can kind of see that metallic shimmer and shine, which will be closer to what it's going to look like once it's got clear over it, which it looks really good. Like, this is the last thing I painted, so this is all pretty wet. And it looks good like this when it... Glitter coat is done. You can kind of see it there. I think it looks fairly even. I just kind of did a large overspray, you know, held it back way far and just kind of misted the whole thing. Now I'm gonna run some clear. And there we have it. So that is going to be with clear on and sparkles. It's from what I was expecting. So my expectations were clearly lower. It was a spray can paint job, and I was trying to do it, you know, with a little extra pizzazz. Probably came out 6 out of 10. It doesn't look bad from some angles, and then it depends on how the light hits it. And after you put clear on, you could see basically what I wouldn't suggest is the metallic spray paint. It's too hard to control the metallic particles in the paint, so it's a little splotchy at some spots where you got more metallic, you know, flake that came out here or there versus, you know, kind of right next to it. So you get a little bit of a dark spot. The glitter, that I'm actually pleasantly surprised with. That just adds, you know, a little extra bling for it. So it kind of all just depends on the light that it's in. I'm happy I didn't get any runs in it, but it does look like there's almost runs in the metallic itself. Like there's no physical run. And then one of the hard things to always, you know, stay away from is, when you're spray painting, is a little bit of tiger striping, which I think with the metallic made it even harder. Like this side of the hood's not bad, but I guess this side I was just a little... Either way, the whole car is one color. And it's probably a good 20, 30 footer. So, this is going to be the end of this video. This was literally just painting it. You're going to have to stick around for part 3, where I'm going to paint all of the trim and then unmask and reassemble. And that's where you're going to have to see the final product. Hopefully out in the sunlight as it's raining now. But like I said, maybe I'll come back tomorrow and, you know, have a little bit different opinion of it once everything is kind of set and dry. But like I said, 6 out of 10, and expectations were a little already on the lower side because I know I was trying to do something. This is definitely doable and pretty good to do or easy to do with, like, say, a single flat color. I'll have to show you my truck that I did like 2 years ago. That still looks great, but that was a single, it's not even flat, it's just no extra clear coat on top. And that still looks pretty good. So on this one, spray paint jobs can be okay. When you try and push it and try and get a little too fancy, maybe it's not the best. Either way, like I said, I'm happy. It's all going to be one color. And again, it's a 260,000 mile daily beater. I'm not too worried about, you know, it. You know, it'll look fine. And on that note, this is your captain out. So I was wrong. Slept on it, and it's one of those, I'm just really, if the car is apart, like, I'm not happy with it enough to put the whole car back together, because then it's just always going to be like this. I'm never going to redo it. So while it's here, I did unmask it, but I'm going to remask it, and I'm going to respray it a different color. It was I want to say my second option, but I had 2 options. I'd already bought this paint, so that's kind of why I went ahead with the blue. The other color is is a single, you know, simple color, but I just kind of wanted to show what the things that I was unhappy with. Like, you can see here, like this spot right here, it's like the metallics kind of ran, and it really depends on the light you're in. There's also, like, it's hard to show, you know, right underneath this line, you can see the color there. There's more of, you know, splotchy. It's kind of darker up here. You can really see the spot up here now, how much darker that is. It looks okay, kind of straight on. You can still see it from the front, but when you get back, you can really see it. And there's a whole bunch of spots like that. I think the other door, the light's not as good, but I think it's even worse. Yeah, like you can see it here and here and here. And you just get, you know, these light and dark areas. But like, you look at the fender up here, and I think that looks pretty good. Same on the other fender. And like the back hatch, it's just couple, I don't even say couple spots, but like you can kind of see that door, how splotchy and like weird, all from those runs. So even though I think from like this angle, you know, it shines, it looks good. Those front quarters look good. It seems to mostly be on the doors. I didn't even notice, you know, the roof per se. From back here, it looks fine, but it's all on the doors that it's not even. So that was a mistake. I tried it. I know better now. Don't use metallic. So now this will be the end of this video. And I'm going to redo everything I just did. I'm gonna mask it off. I'm gonna just scuff it real quick. And then in the next video, you're gonna see the next color I'm going for. And it's completely different than this. So stick around. This one was definitely a big oops. But you never learn unless you try. So this one's a little bit of a learning experience, and you know, $150 and having to buy more paint. So stick around, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. This is your captain out.